Erling Haaland's 18-year-old cousin is a beast. There is something very electrifying and scary about the Haaland family tree, producing 6-feet blonde giants full of muscle, anger, and ruthlessness that is surely displayed on the football field. The latest addition to this monstrosity is a blonde 6'1" Norwegian who has scored 64 goals in just 27 matches. Someone with a unique physique, impeccable ball striking, and remarkable finishing. Presenting another menacing talent, Albert Braut Haaland. The story started off with Alf Inge Haaland, who was an impressive midfielder himself, but he didn't popularize the name Haaland as that job was carried out by his son and blood, a phenomenon of an athlete ranking 6'3" and 194 pounds in the one and only Erling Braut Haaland. Erling started off his career as a young enthusiast at the Norwegian club of Molde, being coached by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, scoring 20 goals and assisting 6 times in 50 appearances. No one knew much about Haaland 3 to 4 years back until he joined RB Salzburg in 2019, beginning the absolute demolition and wrath of goal scoring, not witnessed in years, by finding the back of the net 29 times in just 27 matches, declaring him the monstrous number 9 every club in Europe needs. Fights broke out for his signature, where clubs including Manchester United and Chelsea wanted to sign the Norwegian sensation, but he went to Germany instead to improve his gameplay and style. At last, his dream move to his boyhood club came through, signing for Manchester City for €60 million, and ever since that, the Premier League defenders have been living a nightmare. 17 goals in 11 games in the Premier League, 5 goals out of 4 matches in the Champions League. Haaland is the scariest man in football right now, with defenders wishing there are no more like him. Unfortunately for them, there just might be someone very, very similar to Erling. And that is where Albert Braut Haaland comes to the stage. Haaland is very much like his cousin in Haaland. There seems to be a tradition in this family to produce 6-feet blondes with colossal energy, height, and most importantly, goals. The reason why we're all hearing Haaland's name nowadays is not because he's Erling's cousin, but because he has a similar knack of destroying the goal net with his phenomenal shots and nerve-breaking strikes. The news of Albert Haaland's ability hit the deck on social media, spreading like fire, and why wouldn't it, as the 18-year-old is speculated to have scored 64 goals in just 27 matches for FC Molde at the younger youth level. While the kid still lacks game experience at the highest level of football and is slowly establishing himself as a player, but 64 goals, even at youth level? It is surely not a drill. So, what do we know about the new Norwegian sensation in Albert Haaland, except for the fact that he's huge and shares his cousin's same goal-scoring instinct? For starters, he's pretty much following the same pattern as Erling Haaland, as Albert Haaland came through the ranks of Brighton Football Club as a youngster, where he played from his under-13s to under-19s. The alarming part here was that Haaland was only 11 when he joined the under-13s at Brighton, but due to his already established posture and willingness, he was widely loved by everyone. The craziest thing about the Norwegian at this younger level of football was the fact that he was actually scoring a goal in almost every game he played, which is truly astonishing for a kid. Maybe the technique and anguish runs in the family. His remarkable performances earned him more fame, and it was only a matter of time till a club from the Norwegian Football League in Eliteserien scouted Haaland and signed him to avail his magnificent goal scoring. Once again, following his cousin's path in 2020, Haaland signed for Molde. Since he was only young and 16 years old at that time, he had to earn his debut, which he eventually did in 2021 after coming on as a substitute in the 83rd minute. As expected, blood never disappoints, and Haaland scored a goal only minutes later, showing everyone that the hype around him is no joke. So, what is he really like? Is Haaland a ditto copy of Erling Haaland, or does Albert have a few moves of his own? To find out, we'll have to go into the more analytical section of his gameplay and style. Well, for starters, Haaland is very much like his cousin. He possesses a number of qualities that might draw him comparisons to Erling, such as their appearance, which is quite similar. Both are tall and muscular Norwegians with blonde hair, and while Haaland wears a ponytail now, in his earlier days he was also pulling off the stylish hairband like Albert Haaland does right now. One notable difference between them is their strong foot preference, and while Erling Haaland scores most from his more dominant left foot, Haaland on the other hand prefers his right foot before smashing in those top bins. In reality, both Haaland and Haaland have a great weak foot as well, which is something again we suppose runs in the family. Haaland is also very direct. He's blessed with energy and height that equally convert to long strides when covering ground on the field, making him faster than usual centre forwards. This tool is very important to have in your arsenal because pace is key in today's game. Haaland has all the qualities to be a top centre forward in the future. The most essential and important part of a striker's gameplay is how he is without the ball. This means moving into the best position for crosses, long balls, passes so that you can get a touch off the ball and score a goal. This is what Ronaldo, Cavani and Haaland have mastered all over the years, and Haaland is already showing promising signs with his movement inside the box. One of his natural gifts is his height, making him a dangerous aerial threat. Standing 6'1" with a great jump in his stride, we expect Albert Braut Haaland to score a lot of headers in the growing stages of his career. Last but not least, he's already an excellent ball striker who can connect shots with power on the ball, just like his cousin Erling. We saw and witnessed his insane ball striking range in one of the under-21 games where Molde FK played forward in what was a 3-2 win. Haaland scored the third goal from an impossible range by winning the ball in midfield and scoring a spectacular goal from the halfway line, flexing off his capabilities to shoot the ball from distance. While it is understandable that Haaland is growing to be an impressive footballing player, having already shown so many competent abilities, it is important for us to give him the necessary environment to grow and mature as a player. While he is an immensely gifted football player, he's still only 18. Albert Haaland has gained popularity not only because he's Haaland's cousin, but is very good and extravagant for his age. However, we need to make sure that the 18-year-old sensation, who could possibly have a very great future, is to be relieved of any unnecessary future at this crucial stage of his career, so that he grows and develops himself into an eye-catching football player. We wish Haaland the best of luck and hopes he makes it big, just like his cousin.